Okay, and we're live. I was just like, let's just bring them in. We're live now. We gotta check the volume.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Oh man, my audio sounds terrible. Hold on. Why does my audio sound so bad? It sounds like I'm across the room.
Uh
Yes,
oh.
it sounds like I'm across the room. let
Why
me
is
let
it
me check
varying and
something.
your stuff don't move? I don't understand.
Because there was an update. What's up, everybody? There was a dadgum update.
Daggum update.
Yeah, dadgum
I
update.
loved updates. When I was in IT, we get updates and it'll crash the whole system, and people are like, "What's going on?"
I mean, I can't stand it. I can't stand when they have these updates, and then it's like,
It's fixing one thing, but it breaks a bunch of other things.
yeah, absolutely. And that's what's going on here.
And it's like we we we, s- we secured your security. We just broke everything else.
I can't.
Good morning.
I literally am. My gases are flabbered. My
Yeah,
gases they
you
are
having a
flabbered.
tornado warning over there.
Like this is really getting on my nerves because there was just so much going on. Hopefully y'all will be able to hear me at some point. You know, Naomi was ready, bright and
Kind of.
early, and I'm rushing to get to the show. I'm rushing to get ready, and then I had a and my intestines decided they wanted to attack me this morning, and I'm like, Naomi, I'm gonna be a little bit late. I'm
Uh,
gonna be a little late.
you can't help that. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Especially
Listen,
at that age, you be grateful that you gotta go.
Naomi,
I,
I'm gonna
I,
tell you
I
this.
too am at that age where I'm grateful.
Listen, I was like, we're gonna be sitting here, we're gonna be sipping coffee. Choices had to be made. Okay, choices. We know what coffee will do to you.
That's why I'm just having my first cup. Remember that commercial? Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go right now.
I don't. What was that? What were they selling?
I think they were selling something about incontinence or something. I don't have to go right. Commercials back then were out of pocket.
Okay, Naomi, this is gonna bother me so bad. I gotta do something here. I gotta do something here. Hold on one second. I've got to fix this audio. If it's the last thing I do, and I'm looking at my audio sources, they're what they're supposed to be.
Oh
Like you said,
no.
oh, okay. I think I got it figured out. Hopefully, I don't blow everybody's eardrums out.
Oh no.
Let's try now.
Oh, that changed.
Yeah, is it better?
Yeah, it sounds more like crisp.
Am I
I hear
crispy
your
now?
background too, a little
There,
bit.
there we go. I did it.
You did it.
See, I did it. I had to adjust some things. There, much better. So as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by this stupid microphone. I certain things you don't think you should worry about as an adult. I'm rushing to the show, and I'm like, uh-oh, Houston, we have a problem. And you don't understand the things, like as an adult, right? You're like, okay, do I continue on my present course and try to thug it out?
Absolutely not.
Well, sometimes you do that. Don't tell me you've never just been driving somewhere and like, oh man, you know what, I can make it. Versus I'm gonna pull over and handle
I
business.
mean, it depends. It depends on what the problem is, because if there's a certain problem, I'm just gonna have to thug it out because I'm not about to pull over.
You know the problem faced this morning. It was
Yeah, if I
intestinal,
have that problem, I'm just gonna have to deal with it because ain't a QT in sight that I will go to go. No,
and I'm talking about we're gonna be sipping coffee, and coffee already gets you moving. You know what I'm saying? Coffee already gets you moving. Hold up. And I did it again. I've got to adjust my settings because guess what? Look, Brock is in the chat. You chose well, Prophet. Thank you, Brock. I appreciate it. So, let's see here.
Yeah, I think you picked up your background too.
Yeah, hold on one second. I've gotta do the noise gate.
That
Gotta-
first show we had, I was on my second cup, and I'm telling you, I was wired. I should never have that much coffee in that. I think it was like in an hour span. It was too much coffee. I was bouncing off the walls.
That was you being wired.
Yeah.
That right there was you bouncing off the walls. That Naomi. Okay, so we have a different idea of these things apparently, and I inadvertently invited TikTok in again.
Surprise.
I keep on like accidentally. TikTok, don't think that no one wants you. We love y'all. We do.
It's like that friend you accidentally send.
You
the
accidentally.
plan.
It's like that friend you accidentally sent to invite to the group chat, and you're like, uh-oh.
Oh, damn.
They about to be talking all day. They about to be talking all day. Crash Out Cutie, Mind, Body, Health, Wellness, Mr. Elephant, Nikki. How y'all doing over there?
Good morning.
Right. So what we gonna talk about today? We had
update
like
your
no plan. Are we streaming vertically too? Yep, we are. That's the problem. Okay. I'm gonna have to redo all my settings because we're streaming to the vertical feed, we're streaming to the horizontal feed. We are streaming live everywhere.
Oh,
Like we are literally everywhere. And see, no Crash Out Cutie. We love y'all. Y'all come on in. She said, so basically watch you somewhere else because you don't like TikTok. No. You guys are great. Look, and then Brock said we love the little badass kids too. Listen, no, TikTok, I love y'all. Y'all are bad kids. Y'all are. Not all of you, obviously, but the whole energy on TikTok is so different than the energy somewhere else. Because the TikTok energy is like
it
TikTok.
is a thing.
TikTok is
It's
like
definitely a thing.
I'm gonna fall into the live. I'm gonna ask all my questions, and then I'm gonna say nothing. I'm gonna go. And whereas
TikTok is like a whole. It's like family, like for real, like your distant family. And then on Facebook, it's like them people that them old people that you don't want to talk to in the community. You walk past them and you don't want to make eye contact because they're gonna keep you there all day.
right,
That's how Facebook is to me. And Instagram is just you just don't ever know what you're gonna get on Instagram.
well, this is true. This is true. Instagram is like verbal Omegle. Remember that app Omegle where you could just randomly chat with people?
No.
What the Lord? Okay, so there was this visual. It was like a video app. Okay, and excuse me, you would randomly just be able to talk to people.
Oh, it's just like somebody. It was shuffled.
It was
Somebody would come
yeah,
up.
and then and you're like, it was like speed dating without the dating, and so it was weird because I never understood why people want to do that.
Why would Why would you
know.
subject yourself to that?
But
I
people
don't
get
want to
on
speak
there.
to people normally.
We know you don't.
But I was in the AOL chats back in the days because chat rooms, that was fun.
I don't even recall AOL
You never?
chats. Oh yeah. I do. I remember. But I was never in the AOL chats. I would use there used to be this thing called WBS. And I mean, when I say old, this was probably, my God, like exactly 28, 29 years ago, in the budding infancy of the interweb chatting scene. I mean, it was so like new. You could like your username would be www.ws.com/user/ slash Naomi, right? And mine would be the same thing, but slash broken profit. And if you logged in and took the end off, and you put broken profit, like everyone would think they were chatting with me. That was so like it was the beginning of scamming back then. Gen H 3131 was AOL, College Club, Black Planet. I remember
Yeah,
Black Planet.
I remember Black Planet too.
I don't remember College Club.
I don't know. Was I on? I think I remember being on Planet, lying about my age. I think I
Why?
was.
Just why?
It was fun.
So man, so bowel talk and random chatting aside, how's your week been? I know it's a brand new week.
It's already been a hurricane. I swear, I felt like yesterday was Monday and Tuesday. I thought today was Wednesday.
I
Summer
see.
break, it kicks it beats me up
Why?
because my body thinks when the kids are home is the weekend, but the calendar's like, nah, it's Monday. I'm like, oh, I gotta work and
Wait a minute. So I thought, okay, so help me out here. So I thought y'all only made y'all did all y'all's work like for a few months out of the year, and that's how you like made your nut for the whole year.
no,
And that's not a thing. That's not a nasty thing, y'all. That's like a financial term to make your nut. I don't want people thinking, oh, he talking dirty. No, that has nothing to do with the other verb.
no, I'm not that kind of accountant.
Oh,
It's a spicy account. No,
ew. You know what? I bet that's a. Hey, you got the glasses.
no, I do bookkeeping too. So bookkeeping is all year.
Oh, got you. Yeah. See,
Um,
thank you, Brock. Brock understood. Brock says like a squirrel. Bianca says, hello, Prophet and Naomi, spell check. So people just put spell check in the chat now and just like, hey, just figure it out.
okay.
What's going on, Bianca? How are you?
Yeah.
So I discovered, Lexi, thank you so much for the super
Hey,
chat.
Lexi understands me.
Lexi is a Renaissance person like myself. She just understands the world. She just understands the world. Okay, so, I like messing with stuff. And I discovered this app that apparently everybody else knew about because it's old as I don't know what. It was old as dirt, apparently. And what is it called? Voxer. It has made communicating with people so much easier. Because it's like a Nextel chirp app where people send me a message. And I was sitting there with my sister and I'm just like, boop. Just let them brew for a week. Boop. All right, send me your order number. I'll check on it. Boop. Naomi, it took just that long. And I'm like, look, I just handled 3 different people's issues. As opposed
So
to a
now all you
text
need is that long earpiece to walk around with,
on one side.
just on one ear.
Yep, just on one ear.
Every time I see not old, but a man of a certain
It
age
is an
always
old
has the
man
earpiece in the ear with the microphone way down here.
walking through the store talking loud as hell. Like him and whoever's on the other end of that earpiece are the only people in the store.
I just, they always say they live in Kroger.
They always at the grocery store.
They
Okay,
always in
so
Kroger.
anybody in the chat or any of the chats, because we're streaming everywhere. Anyone in any of the chats have one of those earpieces and don't mind sharing your age. Ray says truck drivers. Yeah, truck drivers do it too.
Yeah, but they don't even be in the truck. They be in their damn sedan with the New Balance shoes
They
on.
be in their Honda.
They always, I swear they always in Kroger. I'm like, Lord.
Yeah, I did something. I have us on the short stream, but it's okay.
Oh, again, we on 2 YouTubes again.
I probably. And guess what? Guess who ain't gonna check it? I ain't gonna check it. We are what we are. We gonna be where we at. Lovely LWs, I can't stand the big earpiece people. Well, what did they do to you?
One
What
of them
did
be
they
work
do?
from home people. Farmers Insurance, may I help you?
Listen, if you would learn to do readings and then come join the South's premier, and I mean premier.
I gotta get on camera too. I'm gonna be in the closet.
Well, you know,
I turn one of, I turn one of my closets into a sound booth because my children are loud. So if I have to be on a call, I just go in the closet.
right. I mean, yeah, yeah. People will get into this and start thinking, well, that's the way I can work at home. I think a lot of people like set up like hoodoo social media just because they sick of going to work, and then they
A lot
quit.
of people are sick of going to work, and I don't blame them.
Well, I mean, I don't either, but then they end up having to go back groveling.
Yeah, it was a lot of people who lost they realized that business wasn't for them because instead of working 9 to 5, you working 24/7, and
Look,
it's not fun.
listen, I mean, I don't know. The economy is so weird right now. It's like almost everybody needs a million jobs.
Yeah, I seen somebody with a loud ass charger this morning, blacked out windows with the tailpipe delivering Amazon. I was like, why are
Wait,
you delivering Amazon in my neighborhood at 7 o'clock in the morning with that loud ass charger?
look, can y'all still hear me? I'm over here adjusting my mic. Can you still hear me, Naomi?
Yes.
There we go. All right. So, yeah, there's that. And also, I remember, because see, this was a thing a few years ago where just letting everybody know, I was meeting friends or whatever, and they were seeing like the behind the scenes here, and they were like, I'm gonna quit, and I'm like, I don't think you should.
Mm-mm.
I don't think you should. You forget, I have been in this game for a while, so I kind of had a built up local clientele, and then to the internet, but people started doing it. They're like, I'm gonna quit my job. I know two people quit their jobs because we were friends. The next thing you know, now they both they back at work. I'm like, hey, don't do it. Don't do. I will tell everyone, do not do it. I did this and worked a regular job for the longest. I've only been entrepreneuring. Is that a word?
No.
You thought about letting me have that. I saw it on your face. You thought about it. But no, only about, well, I don't know, 8 years, maybe.
I mean, and that's something to celebrate because most businesses failed within the first 5 years.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out here. And I mean,
It
and
is.
it's, that's why people need to have static money workings. One thing about the spiritual community that I don't like is people have become so reactionary where they're reactive instead of being proactive. It's like, oh my gosh, everything's about to get cut off. Profit, what's the working I can do? And I'm like, to me, it's kind of like that one family member who always calls you the day before something is about to get cut off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you knew at the beginning of the month that you were not going to be able to pay this bill. Because if you didn't know, that means you did something stupid and lost your money at the
I
last
had
minute.
I had
So if you
somebody
know,
tell me, I was like, I have a budget. And it was like, I wish I could have a budget. I was like, you can have a budget. It's not like I don't know if you know what a budget means.
I think the problem with the world has turned into we look at like social media and we see outside influences and we have started to covet those. And it's like, if I'm not living like that, then I'm not really living. And
Well,
so the thought of living within our means becomes depressing.
I mean, but on social media, you see the exception, not the rule. So it's like, you know, the small percentage of people who can make it happen. You see them because everybody sees them, and you think you can also do it. And sometimes you can, and sometimes you cannot.
But see, we also have to understand that social media, you are viewing a carefully cultivated, glimpse into that person's life. And it may not even be their life. It's the
No.
part that they want you to see. And that's why I don't think a lot of people get. What people do this, look, you're getting the camera upturned so that my fat in my face falls back. Now we've entered the world of filters and everything.
Yeah.
And that's just the aesthetic part. But it's like, yo, I'm getting all this money. And it's like, okay. And then after you take the picture, your mama like, well, give me my rent money back. Wrong with you. You know, that's why I tell people don't go falling in love online. You need to see that person, interact with them in person, because you are watching the view of them that they want you to see. That's it. You're watching the view of them that they want you to see.
Yeah, but they want to get that view and they want to add their view so they can put it on everybody. Everybody can see their view of them together, which I don't understand.
Look,
People love couple content, and I don't understand that either. Family content, couples
I'm gonna
channels.
I'm gonna do some couple content. It's gonna be me with a different snake every week.
Well, yeah, once my dog gets vaccinated, it's gonna be me and her all over Georgia.
You and the dog.
Me and the dog
Look.
all over Georgia. She's
So
pretty
look,
popular.
that's it. People love dogs.
Yeah, she's adorable.
I'm going to do content with me and Lilith. Lilith is my largest snake, and she is massive. It's just gonna be me and Lilith chilling out.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
If I put my kids online, I'm sure they would be popular, but that's terrible. And they
Mm,
embarrass you too, because my oldest son, he just has diarrhea of the mouth. He just be saying stuff. I said something. He was like, "Mom, that's racist." I was like, "That's not what that means." Like,
look, let that man have it.
no, he gonna get me in trouble. We was in the store one day, and he was like, he said something about the good crackers, and this lady had turned around. We were talking about
Oh, do tell.
we was talking about actual crackers, and he's very picky. So, and this lady had whipped around so fast she would have broke her neck.
I'd been like, damn, brother Malcolm, calm down. you know,
We was actually talking about saltines, and that lady whipped her head around so fast. Oh my god, he is hilarious. People hear him speak in public, and they're just astounded. I was like, "Are you astounded because it's his size, or because he's black?"
Brock said, like Brock. Wow, one of those good Brock. Yes, Brock, you are one of the good ones. Oh my God. I couldn't resist. He baited me into that. Did you see? He baited me into that. There was nothing I could do. There's literally nothing I could do. Brock said one of the good ones, like, bro. I can't. I can't. Oh my goodness. So speaking of reactionary, somebody asked me a very good question over Voxer this morning. And Voxer, if you message me on Voxer, just say, hey, Prophet, give me the discount code. I have a discount code just for people who have followed me over there. But that's only if you want to communicate via that. It's not, I'm not one of these people, every month a different app. No, I change a lot behind the scenes, but I don't force y'all to change. That's if you would like to.
It is a new app every month.
Okay, but I tell y'all about it. I don't encourage you to go over there. There is a difference. So I'm going to try something. Can y'all hear music playing? Naomi, say something.
I wish I could hear the music. Nobody hears it.
Okay, what about now?
Ain't nobody gonna say nothing.
Because see,
Oh,
the music, for some reason, Naomi, goes through the same audio portal as you.
oh, that sucks.
Right.
Mm, 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 mm.
Still no music. Oh well.
Oh, boo.
Ling Ling Jones over on Kick says slightly music playing softly.
Oh,
This is the Conjure Cafe, everyone. I remember when I first had music playing, I had like one song and I was looping it very softly, just trying to give some vibes. So I was like, this song playing too long. I'm like, that's because it's looping. That's because it's looping, y'all. So back to,
excuse me.
God bless you.
Thank you.
You see, I say God bless you. Some people just say bless you. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. That's coming from the Most High. God bless you. So, what's up, Kenny? So people are being proactive. So someone hit me up on Voxer and they were like, they said, Prophet, somebody hexed me through food. What can I do? And I started like, well, how do you know? What makes you suspect it? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, no. And I started telling them most of the workings done through food were from women to control men. Most of them, right? There's really no general, I'm gonna hex this food, gobbledy, gobbledy, gookity, gook. If you eat this food, your ass shook. No. Naomi, I'm ad-libbing here. I'm
Okay.
freestyling. So that's just not how it works, right? It's not how it works. So I told her, for the most part, you're fine. And besides, y'all know what I always say: people are just not out here doing work like that. They're not. So
Not
most of
well.
the time, yeah, they're not. Yeah, people may think they are, but they're not. So if you think you're being worked, most likely you're not. Somebody may be pretending, but most of the time you're not. Is that a good volume for the music, y'all? Somebody may be pretending, but I think it's too loud. Let's go ahead.
Can you
Cut this
hear
off.
me?
Let's just turn it off. Let's just turn it off. So, people just not out here doing work like that. They're not. And with that being said, you don't have to worry a lot about needing to protect yourself or whatever. But then that got me to thinking, most of the workings that I know, seriously, most of the workings that I know are reactionary. I mean, they're being proactive. They're not a lot of after you've been poisoned workings. They're not. Most of the workings are, you better do this. If you go like eating rattlesnake root, if you eat rattlesnake root, before you go to like the church picnic, you can go ahead and eat the food. Even though we all know Sister Adele she on the prowl. And then there are workings but I was like, I had to rack my brain. Like, what do you do after the fact? I mean, you can drink rattlesnake root tea after the fact and it'll help, Now here's one that I like, because it's like when science and spirituality meet, because we'll take, what's that, cascara sagrada, and sprinkle it around the toilet and anything nasty will come out of you. But guess what'll happen if you eat cascara sagrada?
Are you gonna be on the toilet praying?
Yes. You better have one of them toilets that got one of these numbers. Shh. Yep.
That's pretty gross.
Yeah.
Didn't you say you can drink poke root tea?
Mm-hmm. Poke root tea too. But see, here's the thing. You got to be careful. That's one of the things I say, hey, write it down for information's sake. But don't just randomly go try it. I would prefer that people brew poke root and like bathe their stomach with the water a little bit, because poke root is mildly poisonous. And you got to know which part. It's just like when people eat poke salad,
Oh yeah.
you got to know which part to eat. And people boil it, pour the water off, boil it, pour the water off, boil it, pour the water off, because otherwise hey, yeah,
You don't got to worry about being heck.
that's right. Being hex will be the least of your worries. The least. So that's it. I'm like, golly, come on.
I just learned what poke salad was. I
Really?
seen an old lady. Yeah, on TikTok there was an older lady. Because
Thank you,
I
Blonde
grew up in
Brownie.
New York. You don't eat nothing in New York that don't come out the grocery store.
Well, I mean, y'all it's just all um concrete up there. Where else would you eat something who went from the grocery store?
I mean, we have parks. There's parks. You get dandelions in the park.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, so y'all have like just defiled the land so bad up there you can't eat stuff that
They cut out
grows.
they'll cut out the concrete and build a tree in it, and that's how you get.
Oh my gosh.
And then there's so many animals.
When I think of New York, I never think, wow, it's so many animals up there.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
so many
rats
animals.
and cats and dogs pooping everywhere.
Look, Bree said, I just came from New York and the food was questionable. Oh, no, don't say that, because people from New York swear. Look, I had this friend. I say, heck, I mean, I guess she still is a friend. We didn't fall out. I just haven't spoken to her in like 10 years. But she was from New York. And when I tell you, she made me so sick of her and New York. Because no matter what she had down here, it did not compare to New York. Yo, son, let me tell you, the Chinese food down here, look at this. I paid $12 for this. In New York, son, $12. I'm like, shut up, go back. And guess what? I think I told her to go back so much that eventually she did. She did. Like, just go.
Some
Just
people
go.
don't last. I mean, I do like the Chinese food, but I took my brother up there because he had never been, and I had some of the Chinese food, and I was like, it just didn't taste the same. I guess my palate had changed, and it's bougie now, and I'm like, ew.
You have a bougie palate. Look,
I was like, this rice tastes so bland. I was disturbed.
look, Black
My
Cat
brother
says,
was
I
like, it's
love that
not
herb. It's really
special.
good for you. Black Cat probably has the cleanest colon in the chat. Right. Black Cat is the cleanest colon in the chat. Shout out to Black Cat. Clean colon award.
Don't
Look,
worry,
Bree
I
said
do
it's
drink
not
the right
proper. I swear
coffee.
it's not. I was there 5 days. I spent $300 plus on food, and it was all bad. But see, here's the thing. Okay, and I always take other people's food recommendations or criticism with a grain of salt. Cause see, I'm a trash compactor. If I can, I'm like a snake. If I can get it down, it's good. And I'm always hungry. And when you're hungry, everything tastes good.
I'm
You
always
know,
hungry and everything don't taste good. I'm
well,
one of those people where you invite me, you say I'm hungry, you want to go eat. I know where I want to go eat.
okay. Well, shout out to you. Shout out to all the Naomi's out there,
Because
fellas. I think all the
greedy.
men can agree. Thank you,
I'm
Naomi,
greedy.
for knowing where you want to eat. Well,
But
we
everybody I
appreciate that.
date is like, oh, I don't know what I want to eat. And then you start naming off stuff. I don't want that. I don't. Well, you just said you didn't know what you want to eat. So
I can't stand that. It's like, if you can tell me what you don't want to eat, then you can tell me what you do want to eat. Or the number one answer that guys hate is, "Hey, you hungry? I could eat." Like,
oh, you
what?
better, yeah.
What is that?
I
I
don't
could
eat.
eat. Oh my gosh! You know what that made me want to do? It made me want to do the big ice. Just sprinkle some crossing powder. Were you in that stream last night?
Yes. I was offending her because I know she's from New York and they can't have nothing. Matter of fact, I need to send my sister some crossing powder.
Oh my gosh! If you were not here last night's stream, Big Ice. I was about to say Black Ice, which she is. Big Ice. Shout out to Big Ice, friend of
What
the
is
show.
happening over there?
You hear that?
Yes.
That's Noonie. So apparently, um, oh, let's see.
Did you see?
There's this part of Miss Rachel where she's like, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. If you see a crocodile, don't forget to scream. Ah! And then she screams.
Noni is taking that seriously.
Yeah, listen,
I'm glad you cleared that up because somebody probably was going to call law on you.
listen, Wreck-It Ralph used to do the same thing. So when Wreck-It Ralph was a baby, right? They're like a year and a half apart, just shy of 2 years. So there was no Noonie. And so I would put him in the crib, whatever, the little bed thing with the high walls on it, like a little baby jail if it had a top. I'll put him in there, and then I'd look at my watch and go, pew, and I run outside, feed the chickens, feed the cat, collect the eggs, do the stuff I had to do. And I always set a timer. I had to be back in the house in 3 minutes because I'm like, okay, there's nothing he can get into in 3 minutes. He's inside the crib. There's nothing he can get into. And so 3 minutes was like my thing. And so I'm gone. I mean, I had a system down. You seen those TikToks where the dad is like running through the house, picking up toys, throwing them in here, raking stuff into the sink. And that's what I was doing. Running through the yard. And as I'm coming back to the house, I'm like, phew, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm ready for NASCAR. I hear screaming. I'm like, oh my God. Doggone. Put it. I kicked on the after. And when I got in there, yeah, he's seen a crocodile.
My kids didn't do Miss Rachel. What was it? It was Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
I don't know
And
what
they
that
watched the
is.
same episode over and over and over and over. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse? You don't know? Oh, in Bluey.
Oh, you are doubling again. I think it. Oh,
Oh,
are you in
no.
your closet?
No.
Oh, okay. Because sometimes, I think. Oh, you've cleared up now. It was just a little momentary shakiness. You're fine now. Polaris Dreams over on TikTok says, I said Tic Tac. What's up? We make custom rugs and would love to make you one. I would love to have one. DM me. Blonde Brownie, and thank y'all so much for the gifts. Bree said, I don't know, a self-proclaimed voodoo priestess on Facebook told me to meet her in the graveyard 2 days ago. I wouldn't recommend you do that.
That sounds like a the start to a murder show.
You know what that sounds like the start to, Naomi?
A scary movie.
Us sitting here going, I ain't seen Bree in a while. Wonder what she up to.
That don't sound like a Black person thing to do.
I ain't seen her in a while. Wonder what she up to.
I ain't
I
being
don't
nobody
know.
nowhere.
Look, doggone. The sheriff said she is about to get done in, taken to the upper room with Jesus.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. But I mean, the spiritual community is so different.
It's like a prerequisite. If you're not weird, you're not an effective spiritualist.
I didn't say that, y'all. Naomi said that. I didn't say that. Listen, so
I mean, but you're pretty weird. Like, you go out your way to buy weird stuff, and you got spirit boxes and Ouija boards. Don't you buy a Ouija board? And then he comes out with the Ouija board.
The Ouijiest of boards. Seriously, I mean, but see, I've been doing this a while. I know how to contain these things, but most people just go and buy them, and the next thing you know, they all done in. Where he said the voodoo priestess that tried to get Breeze to go to the cemetery, and self-proclaimed voodoo priestess at that. Y'all, you can't do that. You can't do that. Do y'all know there is no self-initiation in any ATR? That's why a lot of people come to Hoodoo because they've been sold the lies that the marketeers sell them. Like, oh, it's just a system. It's a tradition. It's not a religion. So you can do whatever you want to within it. And then they end up getting messed up. They end up getting messed up. And see, a lot of people, especially, listen, if anyone, Naomi, people always ask me, how can you tell if somebody's fugazi out here? And I'll say, well, see, how you tell? That's a word I learned like just a couple of weeks ago, I promise. That's all. Look, I just learned it and I love it. So you can tell if somebody out here is fugazi by one, if all their advertising is oils. I kid you not, all people know about Hoodoo is the skeleton key, John the Conqueror and oils. That's it. That's all people know about Hoodoo.
Damn,
the skeleton
honey
key, John, right, and honey jars. That's it. All right, that is it. Leo Rising, thank you for the super chat, my brother.
The flim flam.
Like that's all they know. So if all they're doing is trying to sell you honey jars and oils, they are brand new, and whatever lineage that they told you about is a lie. Because lineages in Hoodoo don't even matter, but that's a lie. I saw someone who I could scroll back through my text messages and find them telling me, "Hey, I'm so glad I found you. I've just started my Hoodoo journey." And see, y'all don't know. I love to I invest in y'all. Y'all invest in me. I invest in y'all. So I'll check out y'all social media, see if there's something I can support. Naomi, this same person. Y'all check out my new oil. I just started to make. DM me, and I'm like, you've been in this since lunch.
Hey,
Okay,
you can't knock the hustle
but
because
these I understand, but these will be the same people that talk about that will criticize other people for doing the same thing that they're doing. I can't stand social media. What's the word? What's the word? Dang it. Hypocrisy. Social media hypocrisy, because
it
they'll
gets
be,
people going, and nothing so oil is like a beef
it's like,
because they come in to get the oil and the tea.
but the problem is, all people know to do with their oils is wear them. Do y'all know that
Yeah.
oils are they're all over Hoodoo, but if you look at the amount of workings that require an oil, it's not everyone. It's not.
No.
It's like a tool, but people that are new, like, oils are the thing. They are the part, and they're not. They're absolutely not. Yeah, what's up, Leo? Leo said, I see that shoulder is shouldering. Oh, yeah, the shoulder's feeling good. But here's the problem. The problem with my shoulder is now the left shoulder is starting to have issues. And I'm like, we ain't about to do this.
Do you sleep on your other shoulder?
I do. And also, see, while this one was healing, this one had to do all the work,
Yeah.
And the other night, I noticed some questionable pain that would focus more at night. And I'm like, that's one of the signs. Look, Matt Smith in the chat says, if she don't make you a honey jar, is she really yours?
Wow.
I mean, I hope nobody make a honey jar on me, because you just wasted a bunch of honey.
Yeah, honey is not cheap, and especially the good stuff.
And honey is not even a real
the honey
working.
I buy is like $10 a jar.
Oh, okay, so hear me out. So the feed store where I go to buy my chicken feed, it's just a little country store, because every store around me is a little country store, right? And they will sell random stuff at the register. Random stuff. And so they were selling this big jar of honey. And I know that there's somebody around there with some bees that honey came from. And I'm like, oh, I need to see how much that honey's for. But yeah, honey's expensive.
And then it's good for your allergies too, apparently. The pollen.
Felicia, thank you for the gift. Yeah, I have to fix it. I don't know. You know, honey's expensive, but if people say they're doing honey jars and they're selling oils, then they're new and they're trying to scam you. If they're mentioning Orisha and Loa, they're trying to scam you. There's no Oshun, there's no Papa Legba. Okay? If they are screaming that hoodoo is not a religion and it's not an ATR, guess what? They are trying to scam you. And they may not even know that they're scamming you. The only way that they're probably scamming you is in telling you that they've been doing whatever they're doing for generations, when in reality, they probably started in the early 2000s, because that's when that mess started. But here's the problem. We have let them, yeah, the Egyptian pantheon too. If they sell you some Osiris oil, get out of there. Get out of there. Look, go on. Look, Hotep, son, Hotep.
That's a oh Lord.
You know, but I don't know, Leo. I was gonna get on Threads, but I'm on Threads, but the amount of stupidity that I see, I'm like,
Isn't
oh
Threads like
no.
a dating app?
They want it to be. It's supposed to be Zuckerberg's version of Twitter.
Well, Twitter is Pornhub with
Yeah, Twitter is just
lines of
Pornhub at this point.
words. So
You know,
it's pretty. It's like an apocalyptic wasteland over there.
yeah, it's terrible.
You just be scrolling. You can't
Leo
scroll Twitter
says,
in public. That's not a
not
good
the
thing.
Sekhmet shade. Oh yeah, everyone. Under his eye. What does that mean? What does everyone say? Is there some under my eye?
Oh my God. No. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a lot of mixing. There's a lot of weirdness going on.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it is terrible. Bill says Shiva Legba, you know, a big boy Legba. It's all types of stuff. You know, oh, it's from Handmaid's Tale. Okay, yeah. I mean, so if y'all see any of this mixing, that's because they didn't know enough, and they're trying to make stuff extra spooky to sell. It's just weird. It's just weird out there now. Y'all got to say, keep it simple. Like, what did the ancestors probably have access to? Not possibly, because people want to. We can have a hypothetical situation all that lasts forever, because anything is
Yeah.
possible. But what did they probably have access to? What did they probably do? It's not. Guess what? They didn't have a lot of time, so the workings were not elaborate. They didn't take a lot of time. You know. So I don't know. Now we got to get out of
The
here.
thing that usually gets me is the need to cleanse things. A lot of people like, I need to activate and cleanse. And
Yes. Oh my
I just
God.
I always see somebody with an incense in a jar. They're like, I gotta clean the jar, and
I have seen that people, God bless them, will take a jar and will light some Palo Santo and stick it up in the jar. Greetings, family. You must cleanse the jar before. Let me tell y'all something. This came from the African ancestors who were enslaved here. All right, let me make this perfectly clear. We didn't have time to do all that. Okay, and you know why we don't consecrate things? Because most of the things that we have or had to serve multiple purposes.
yeah,
So this knife that I had, okay, could not just be for spiritual work. Look at when we grow up. A butter knife in most black households will spread butter, cut up hot dogs, will be a screwdriver when you need one, can pry open a locked door. It does a bunch of different things. So the idea of consecrating something just for when I do spiritual work, that's not something we did. We're talking about back then, it had to make dinner, you know, all kinds of stuff. So no, there's no consecrating things. And look, people will take this, Naomi, and clean their candle before they light it. That's why y'all have them big black ass bonfires that y'all love posted on social media. Y'all, my candle is candling. Oh my God, look at my candle. It is doing the candle most. because you just cleaned that candle with alcohol.
With a flammable liquid.
Right.
Well, at least they used the tins. We saw that one. It was very pretty.
You know,
It was safe.
that's why so many, and I don't have, but the little 10, exactly. That's the social media,
The
especially
foil
TikTok.
pan,
TikTok, that's why we talk about y'all. Y'all are bad kids. That's why we
wasting
talk
cake
about y'all.
pans and roasting
Y'all,
pans.
y'all take them aluminum foil cake pan, right? Bread pans, dump every root and herb you can think of on top of a candle till you can't even see the wax anymore. People show me pink. Look, Private, I done dressed this pink candle. I can't even tell the candle pink. The
It's
candle
pretty
look,
though.
Naomi, those candles look like somebody covered them with honey and then kicked them down the street all the way home. And, it's done picked up everything along the way.
Yeah, I always see like the when they're doing the I guess the two candles and they lighten it in the middle to break the bonds or whatever. I forgot what it's called. The cord cutting ceremonies.
Look, B said, what about house cleansing in terms of washing all the doors? I can't wash please wash your back door. Please wash your back door. But no, we're talking about the cleansing of objects, not house cleaning. You absolutely can cleanse your house. You can absolutely cleanse your car. You can cleanse yourself. But when you talk about cleaning objects, that's not something that we did. And y'all, I would love to continue this conversation, but I gotta get out of here. I done ran over 13 minutes. We ended up giving him an hour anyway, Naomi. We gave him an hour anyway.
Yeah, you better get out of here for you.
Yeah, because Wreck-It Ralph has an appointment, and we gotta go
Yeah,
make it.
and if you don't leave, somebody's gonna poop, and then that's how it is.
They always poop when it's time to go out the door. They
Yes,
always poop.
my son used to do that nonsense. I put him in the car. I'm like, I'm gonna be on time for work today, and I get him in the car and I smell poop, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's terrible. But anyway, thank y'all so much, Naomi. Hey, I appreciate it as always. You're absolutely amazing. And hey, shoot me a price on the whole the app situation. I'll text you.
okay, yeah. I mean, what, Lord, bye, y'all. See y'all later.
Bye. See y'all later.